What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Big Blue Drew 97 here today to talk to you about One Piece chapter 949 titled Mummy. And uh, this was a somewhat good chapter. It was a good chapter. I'm just a little tired now because I spent the past 14 minutes recording this video and I forgot to allow the speakers to be on to hear me. So for a solid 14 minutes, I was talking to you, but you weren't able to hear me. So now I'm gonna have to redo it, but it's fine. I'm still gonna enjoy doing this because when it comes to One Piece, it's very near and dear to my heart. I've been reading it for almost going on 5 years really. And when it comes to how this story has just affected my life, it's affected my life very greatly. So I've decided that I'm going to start doing reviews / my initial thoughts on the series on this YouTube channel. And some of you who may be watching this, if you watched my videos from last week, would know that this is what I was going to do, and hopefully you can enjoy it. So when it comes to this chapter, because I did this once, I'm going to keep this a little bit briefer. But when it comes to this chapter, it was a lot of good things in it, and a lot of things that were meh. And I'm just going to go straight through the chapter as is and then give my final thoughts at the end. First of all, when it comes to the first part of this chapter, it starts off with just Luffy just kicking butt. You just see Luffy kicking butt. You see this other members of the Nine Red Scabbers kicking butt. Chopper is just wailing on them. And an interesting thing is that there's an observation made by one of the characters about how the guards are only shooting the prisoners. Can you guess who did it? I'll give you a hint. It was not Luffy. Want to guess again? It was Luffy. And it's just hilarious to think about this, is that people think that Luffy is dumb. No, there's just certain things that he just doesn't care about. But in this instance, he cares about the prisoners because they are a means to meet his goal, which is to save Wano by allowing them to have food that they can always eat. So he just realizes that, hey, they're only shooting the prisoners. And what is interesting about this is that it also leads into, and this kind of ties into what's happening, because you have the Nine Red Scabbers, you have Old Man Hyo, you have Raizo, you have Okiku, you have Kawamatsu, you have them fighting, and there are scenes in which they're just in action poses, which is really cool. And among all of them, you have Chopper and Luffy doing a combo attack called Gomu Gomu no Heavy Stamp. And it's just cool to see more of those in the series. I just love it when the Straw Hats do these combo moves. But I still found it interesting about everyone who were there. Luffy's the one that identifies it because it shows that he's not an idiot. He understands what's going on in the world. It's just that his personality is he just doesn't care about things that he doesn't care about. And in this instance, he cares about them, so he's more observant. So that's something interesting, and this kind of builds upon his character in a way where it's he's not just a bumbling idiot. He knows what he's doing. And in this kind of ties into something very tropey, and not just anime but in storytelling. But later on, he gives a protagonist speech. The protagonist speech that you see in literally every anime when the hero is down and out of luck, he gives this empowering speech to himself or his friends, and they come in for the victory. It works and kind of doesn't work in that way in One Piece, and I'll explain that a little bit later. But yeah, he notices this, and when it comes to all these action scenes, we also get a good glimpse of Killer and Kid in this chapter. And this is a negative for this chapter, in all honesty, because I feel as if I love Kid and I love the interaction between Kid and Killer for the past few chapters, but for this instance, it's just a split shot of hey, Raizo, I have the keys, here you go, friends of Luffy Taro, goodbye. And the Kid is just staring, and I have one of two reasons why. He's either staring because he's thinking of a way to free himself, because it's he has a pride and he's yeah, I got caught, but I'm gonna free myself and my crewmate, and I'm not going to do this on my own. Or he's just waiting and contemplating on what's going to happen between Luffy and everyone else, because he's just looking, and he has a face of not anger not sadness, but of contemplation. He's thinking about what's about to happen, and I'm disappointed that they didn't use a little bit more with Kid and like giving more of a retrospective of like how he's feeling at that moment. We're probably gonna get it later, but it would have been very great to hear about more of it now. But yeah, but something else that happens is that we finally get an explanation for the excitement bullets. We get a specific explanation on what they are, and in this case, the excitement bullets, as explained by the Scorpion guy, is that it's a virus that spreads through if you get in contact with it, either by being shot with it. That the effects is that you will get a high fever that spreads from the point of contact, but then from there you'll spread and you'll just have this sensation of just pain where it feels like you're on fire, and that's bad. But the added effect is, oh, you also begin like coughing up blood, and just blood is coming out of you, and that's just very extreme. It's just like, okay, setting like having the feeling of fire, that makes sense. But forcing blood to come out of you, that's just excessive. That you know for a fact. And we also realize that Queen created them. But you just realize that Queen didn't need to like have them cough up blood. Like that just sensation of fire would have been good enough. But Queen is just this just sadistic. He's like, huh, let's see if I can make these worse. Fever? Okay. Making them feel like they're on fire? Could go farther. Coughing up blood? Perfect. It's just, it seems extreme for it. But like, when you really think about it, this just means that Queen is a better scientist than not Vegapunk, than Caesar Clown, or at least can create deadlier diseases. Because we've seen Caesar and like what he has done. Hasn't really killed anyone. Has incapacitated people, but like we've never seen them really in pain. Queen, first virus, literally drops people, causes viruses to spread, and like people are just dropping down like mummified in a way, which is weird because like the effects of it are not mummification, but what happens afterwards, they do look like mummies, which is probably why they get the name of the mummy virus. But that's besides the point. He explained these, and that's the reason why he's shooting at all the prisoners. He's like, oh yeah, I can't just shoot it at Luffy. I can't shoot Luffy because he's probably moving faster. But if I shoot everyone around him, then it doesn't matter. And it kind of works because all the prisoners get up, start walking towards Luffy, and they're like all surrounded. So like if they get touched, the idea is game over. But see, here's the thing. At this moment in time, the prisoners start talking back, and it's like, this is saying basically to Luffy, this is all your fault. The reason why we're in pain is because of you. We can't fight Kaido. He's too strong. His dragon form is too strong. The fact of the matter is, one of his subordinates literally incapacitated this entire area by himself. And he didn't even do it while he was here. We have no hope of doing it. We were just doing our normal thing. Because of you, we cannot do this normal thing anymore. And then Luffy just snaps. He just grabs all the prisoners, knowing that they're infected. And then also Tama and Momonosuke are here, and they're just like, oh hey look, there's everyone. They're safe. But why is Luffy looking weird? It's just a fun scene. But Luffy just gets irritated and just grabs them, and it's like, what are you talking about? We're here to defeat Kaido. And like he's basically like, sure, we know he's strong, but like I'm still gonna defeat him. Because I made a promise. And he just throws them on the ground, and literally Chopper and the nine red scabbards are looking at Luffy, and they're thinking, oh no, what are you doing? And Luffy's like, and everyone just looks at Luffy, and he's like, yo, he's surviving through this. He doesn't look like he's in pain. And he just has this determination, and the reason why it's not affecting him as much is because he has all like the antibodies to poison. But that's besides the point. What I still found interesting was that he's doing all this, and like he's not doing it because he's a hero, but he gives like this protagonist speech to like make them realize like, yo, you say that this is normal, but no, it's not. You work all this work, and you get an award, and you're working all of this, and that's all you get? This isn't normal. This is slavery. Which makes sense, because like it makes sense why he would be against slavery because of what happened with Kami and the fishmen. And like he recognizes like, no, this isn't normal. This is slavery. Quit being stupid. And he basically just like empowers them and gives them this hope. And he says, yo, I know Odin was a good guy, but you cannot keep living this life because this isn't normal. And I made a promise to Tama that I will make sure that she never goes hungry again. I'll make sure that everyone in this land doesn't go hungry again. And they're just looking at them. The prisoners are looking at Luffy, and it's like, wow. And then you just see, I think it's Kawamatsu or Denjiro at this moment. It's like, wow, he's really empowering them. And like he's so close to like making them on his side. But then we see Old Maid with his elephant belly, and he's like, nope, I'm not gonna allow this. So he takes one of the excitement bullets, which in this moment is big enough to be an excitement cannonball in a way, puts it inside his elephant, and is just about to fire at it. And like the prison guards see this, and they're like, oh no, he's about to fire it at this large group. And in that moment, you're thinking, oh no, oh no. And all of a sudden, you're like, Luffy, where did you come from? And then he just, it was funny, he just ties the elephant's nose into a knot, which is just like something that all cartoon characters do, no matter what medium you're in. And he's like, oh wow, luckily enough, I saw a bad future. So I decided to like stop it. And I'm like, future sight confirmed again. It's so great. And it literally backfires in Old Maid's face, both figuratively and oh so literally. It just explodes, and then all of a sudden everyone's looking around. It's like, he did it. He defeated Old Maid. And then all of a sudden you see the Scorpion guys is like, you guys know you guys know what happens when you attack the guards. You remember what you're doing. And they're like, yeah, we know what we're doing. We're rebelling. And then the end of the chapter just ends off with Luffy and the prisoners just taking over Udon prison. And then you have Old Man Hyo saying, wow, this dude is a real leader. And then it just ends. And I think this is and that's basically the end of the chapter. And I did really like this chapter, but I felt as if like, yes, I understand that the protagonist's speech was important, but it's still cliched. But I can forgive it because at least in One Piece, Luffy doesn't give these speeches often. And when it comes to Kid, I feel as if like Kid could have been used more in this chapter. I still found it enjoyable. I enjoyed the combo attacks. I enjoyed seeing the 9 red scabbers, or at least half of them. Wait, 1, 2. Actually, no, it was only 3, so like a third of them doing something interesting. I enjoyed the fact that we got to see Kid at Killer, which I just love the fact that he just hates his lifestyle and it's just fa. But yeah, we get to see them. But like, all in all, I still think it was a good chapter. But I still could have believed that it could have been better. Maybe the speech could have been worked out a little bit differently, and a Kid could have shown like a little bit more. He could have been a little bit more involved in this chapter. But yeah, that's my initial thoughts on this chapter. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it. Hopefully you'll be able to catch me next week and for the next my thoughts on the next chapter. And until then, I'll catch you guys later. And goodbye for now. Woo!